Hi everyone, we're Mark and Rachel from HorseboxCamper, as you probably know from the title of the channel, stupid boy. We've been nominated by Florry the Lorry, Kat and Chris on Florry the Lorry, and by Russ at the Nomadic Veteran, as he says. So I'd just like to put a disclaimer out there first of all. We feel very fraudulent because we're not actually full-time van lifers. However, the house is on the market and we should have been full-time van lifers by now if it hadn't been for a certain little pandemic hitting. So let's get on with the questions. So what's that? Question number 1. How many toilet rolls do we have at the moment?
At the moment on here on Booby Doo, the lorry, we've got 6. And at home, we've got countless. Like others, we've subscribed to Who Gives a Crap. Wonderful toilet roll, wonderful ethos. But for goodness sake, don't miss the email that says we're sending the next batch.
Because the next batch was 48 toilet rolls.
And I think they think we go through far more than we really do.
Yeah. Right, so question 2. What has been the biggest change for you since lockdown? Probably no viewings on the house.
Yeah, our sale fell through just as COVID hit, and then no viewings, but fingers crossed we had the first one this last week, so we might get there yet.
Yeah. Right, where are you currently parked? Well, the lorry is actually parked on the edge of an industrial estate, but luckily we are still living in our house. As we said before, we haven't managed to sell it yet, and so we aren't actually full-timers, just to get that in there again. Right, question number 4. What have you gone without recently?
I think travels, meeting up with friends, catching up with family, like most other people, really.
Yeah. Probably the big one for me is sitting around fire pits, telling stupid stories with friends, really. So, yeah. Question number 5. What are you most grateful for? I'll let you do this one.
I think after so many full-time van lifers have received grief, abuse, that we're probably grateful that ours was sort of postponed, because we should have been out the house in the middle of May. And I think that's when everybody's attitude towards van lifers was just deteriorating. So I think I'm grateful for that, and grateful now that we've got sort of able to get viewers, so we will sort of become full-timers. It's just a bit delayed, that's all.
Yeah, I think the thought of actually being brand new van lifers and having to cope with lockdown just would have been incredibly stressful, because we actually wanted to we want to keep on working for 6 months to a year in our jobs once we actually sell the house, just to accrue a bit of a nest egg. So it just would have been a nightmare, because having to try and find park ups when we're not used to how you go about finding park ups, especially for something that's 24 feet long, might have been a bit of a challenge. So what do you miss the most?
I think again, missing family, friends, and sort of and catch up. We've got, you know, quite a few Zoom quizzes on the go and family catch-ups online, which is, I think, like most people, and trying to catch up sort of virtually, but it doesn't really replace a lot of it face to face.
Yeah, I'd probably go along with that one.
And also weekends away.
Yeah.
At this time of year, we probably would have gone away. We obviously missed out on Camp Quirky as well, and Overland Adventure Show.
And the Off-Grid Survival Show.
Yeah.
Or is that always going to be September?
Can't remember now.
No.
There's so many things have been cancelled and shunted around.
Yeah.
So,
right. How long has it been since you were at a campsite? We last went to a campsite New Year's Eve. It was a very nice campsite. We tried to go away between Christmas and New Year, you know, obviously when we were still in the house. It was the Dartmoor Halfway, which is a little pub just outside Newton Abbot that has a lovely little campsite on the back. And we went away with our friends Danny and Lorna, and had a lovely few days exploring Dartmoor.
So what's your favourite quarantine food?
For me, it is fish finger sandwiches. I just love fish finger sandwiches with lots of tartar sauce and stuff like that. Oh, it's just regressing to my childhood.
I think luckily mine is anything barbecued, considering Mark is the barbecue king.
Yeah,
So,
I will probably barbecue for every meal of every day if I had the chance to. So
except your fish finger sandwiches.
yeah, apart from the fish finger sandwiches, which is lucky because we got, is it 3 barbecues on board?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask.
How are you exercising, doing workouts?
Basically walking the dog to death, I think, really. I think we've been doing sort of certainly a really big walk at the weekends, you know, sort of 9-10 miler, which considering poor old Mabel's coming up for 10 this year, I think she's been suffering a bit, but she sort of gets there in the end. Especially the you know, it's quite nice now that the weather's not quite as hot as it was, but that's probably about it really. And we try and go and visit your father every day and take the dog down there for a walk.
Yeah. I used to be doing running, but that's lapsed since lockdown. So, but it is something that I will get back into. Again, actually, that's probably one of the things I miss as well. Is I'm part of a women's running group, so it's partly the social bit as well. I miss. Yeah. So.
And then on to the last one. Who are we challenging next? Since we don't actually know any other YouTubers, we're probably just
who haven't done it,
definitely. We're probably just gonna have to challenge anyone who hasn't done it already, because we've led a very sheltered life and we haven't actually met any YouTubers, and you know, so you know, sort of our little insignificant channel. So anyone else who hasn't done it, feel free. Right, well, that's about us from HorseboxCamper. Stay safe, and if you would like to subscribe, please push the little subscribe button. Click the bell notification if you want to be notified of our drivel. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. So, like I say, stay safe, and we will hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.